Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and get started. And first, of course, I want to thank everyone for being here today and wish everyone a happy holidays. And I think especially for those of us who can gather with family and friends during this time, this is excellent timing in terms of actually signing the Paid Parental Leave Act. And so, of course, want to begin by thanking our City Councilor, Pat Davis, for championing this and spearheading it. Great work, Councilor. Another very piece of impactful legislation that's going to help New Mexico families. I want to start out by saying that, we believe that paid parental leave is key to supporting working families. And it's something that for anyone who has even siblings and so forth, who've had children and so forth and been through this process, it's so important for every family member. And even for myself, having two young kids who are not here with us today. They're out running around in the bosque with their family. Parental leave was absolutely one of the most special times we ever had as parents, actually. The bill we're signing today was passed unanimously by City Council last week, and it will help with the recruitment and retention of our employees as well here in Albuquerque. We want, of course, to attract the most qualified and talented candidates, but one great way to differentiate working at the city from other places is also through specific benefits. And for us, it's all about benefits for the entire family. And so studies have shown that workers are more likely to return to a job that provides paid parental leave than those that do not, meaning that this policy could help the city also avoid some expenses associated with personnel turnover. Now, this new bill will offer new parents, including new adopting parents and foster parents, the ability to take 12 weeks of paid leave over a 6-month period. And to qualify for paid leave, city employees must have worked for the city for at least 1 year. This flexibility is really important because it's not always the most helpful for the family to take leave right after, for example, a child is born or adopted. Sometimes it's helpful to stagger that, or really it's up to that particular parent to decide, and this bill allows for that kind of flexibility. Now, not only is this good for City Hall, it's also good for families, as I mentioned, because it gives really babies time to develop that bond with their parents. And paid leave is also key to increasing the rate and the duration of breastfeeding, which has health benefits for both mothers and babies, and something that my wife and I are also firm believers in. Now, I had mentioned with our own kids how we did this. It was different each time. We split up leave with our second child because it was just easier for us. And so this bill really allows flexibility, and again, for adopting and fostering parents, which is so important. We want to make sure and treat everyone equally when it comes to parenting. Now, let me, I think, close with this, that, we believe that families deserve the chance to bond and welcome their new children into the world and have the peace of mind that their job is protected. And paid leave is part of that, of course, after the birth of a child or adoption or fostering. So with that, we're going to go ahead and sign this bill. And the last piece I wanted to share with you is that this is we are the first city in New Mexico to have this in place, and that's a great thing. I think that's a real pride point for everyone in Albuquerque. Okay, so there's, you'll just have to bear with me on trying to divide my name up by 6. So there's one pen. I'm not sure who. Okay, I'll set it over there. Great. There we go. There's another one for whoever wants it. And another one. All right, Pamela, thanks for helping distribute there. Okay. There you go. All right. Okay. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you, guys. So, and I think what we'll do, if folks want to share any words, they're welcome to, or you can speak to anyone individually. So, I don't know. I know you guys have been a big part of this, or whoever would want to start out. share anything?
So I would like to just echo what the mayor said. This is the first step for any city governmental entity or any governmental entity at all in the state of New Mexico to move forward with paid family leave. The next step is to take it to the legislature and make sure that it goes statewide. But right now we're giving a big hooray to Tim Keller and his team for moving this forward and making the city of Albuquerque the first step in making paid leave a reality.
Thank you.
Thanks. That's great.
I just wanted to also add in there that we're really impressed that the city council passed this unanimously, and that the entire city and all of the team really saw that parental leave is extremely important for all of the city employees, including transit workers and sanitation workers and public safety workers. So everybody has that opportunity to be with their children when they first come. Thank you.
And Lissa, you're right. Let me just say, Mayor, you know, when we started talking about this, your office and Mary Scott down at HR and others were big on us, but we wanted to do this not just in a way to make the policy work, but to be sure we could show its impact. And the city staff really dug in with our staff and Sean Ferran in my office, because this was something that came from our city employees through an HR survey that said what would make the city of Albuquerque a more attractive place for you to work, what would make you want to work with us longer. And then our staff really ran with that and found actual data in the city about what it would cost, how many families it could impact, and what that meant. And at the end of the day, that made it perfectly clear, even to early doubters, that this was a smart decision for an employer like the city of Albuquerque. And I hope other employers in the city and around the state will look at this and say, if Albuquerque can do this and keep the best and the brightest, we ought to look at it too. So thank you for all of y'all's work in helping us to do that, but particularly our city staff who brought this idea forward and then worked really hard to be sure that we had the right data to get it passed. It makes a difference.
Awesome. Okay. Any questions on this? And also, if you want to do individuals, you can just pull them out over there, I think so.
Can I talk
Thanks.
about the financial impact?
Yeah, you know, really quickly,
Sure.
we, as I mentioned, we looked at actual data in the city, how many people added new children and new family members to their insurance policies here in the city. And then the city's new economist did some work to try to establish how much it would cost to replace that employee if they chose to quit and stay home for that option instead. And we found that it cost up to as much as $42,000 to recruit, replace, and train up some of our higher level city employees to get up to that level of efficiency. And even for some of our entry level employees, the ability for them to come back in a few weeks meant that, and come back to the city, meant that they were more likely to stay with us longer, giving us a better return. Ultimately, it's between $100,000 and $500,000 a year. But the good news is, we already budget for those full salaries every year. We were essentially saving money on the back of employees who chose to take time off because we weren't paying them to stay home. Now we're just going to pay them what we had already budgeted for, and so it doesn't hit the city's budget in that regard. But more importantly, long term, we decided we could afford to do this because it was about $25,000 more a year by the time we factor in the cost of recruiting or training new employees to take their place, and that's a no-brainer for an employer like ours.
All right. Thank you guys very much.
Great.
Thanks.
Thanks.